So there's quite a few things I want to try with this deck. I want to try playing a playset of Chaos Elementals and no 2-drops. I probably should try Rancor for the sake of completeness, although I don't believe that it will be good. I want to try Azurhorn Shaman as an annoying 2-drop that people don't want to kill, that doesn't die on turn 1 very easily, similar to the Young Silithar, but also gets quite a bit of value when it does. So isn't necessarily going to be the first thing that gets wiped out. Probably not really good enough for this sort of deck, but did I change my deck from the tournament version? Not yet. This is currently my Game 1 list from Tuesday. I haven't tweaked it yet. But I do intend to do some tinkering later after I've finished with the boss. This is a really nice hand, by the way. We've got a nice curve, essentially turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, or we can try and hit a flash. We don't need this guy yet. We don't need this yet. So I'm just going to replace those, hoping for natural selection. Ooh, this guy's good. It's a good turn 1 play. Yeah, we've got selection, flash. This is good. I'm probably going to hold on to this against Vitruvian. Although it's awkward with the deal test, so depending on how the game goes, that may not pan out. So the question now is, do we think he's playing Fireblaze Obelisk? So if he's got Fireblazes, we want this. If there's more than just the Ethereal Obelisk in the deck, we want this. This is also quite good against Falkius, which we need to play around this turn, so that the Chaos Elemental doesn't die in 1 hit. I do feel like I want to make replaces, because I want to find Flash, I want to find Natural Selection, and I guess this is probably the victim, because this curve of minions is just too good. That also works. It's probably better than Duelyst on this board. Right, so I'm going to put this guy here, I think. So the chances of it getting hit by a Dervish here are something like... Oh, they're actually quite high. Maybe I'll put it there. Yeah, here is fine. It's pretty safe from Dervishes, and it gets to contest this Mana Tile next turn. That's a good draw. Okay. So if my opponent tries to come over here, or even just take this middle, we can fight stuff with the Chaos Elemental. Or not. So this could be annoying. If the... Oh, wow. Actually, you know what? That is fine. I will let my Chaos Elemental get a 2-for-1. That is just fine. Alright. So... Does Iridium Scale help? No, not compared to like Duelyst or this guy. Duelyst is much better against Falkius and the Dervish, generally, because we get left behind. We get left with a big thing, and it doesn't even nerf natural selection here. So I'm actually tempted to replace this. I feel like the Iridium Scale could be pretty good once we get into the mix. Just clearing up these obelisks. And if my opponent tries to sort of move to surround me, because we can use the Duelyst token to control space quite a lot. So I'm going to replace this guy. Not Flash Reincarnation, therefore I'm sad. Alright, do I go aggressive? I think I like playing it next to the obelisk. But maybe it's better to play it defensively, or even just play it here, so my opponent can't easily take the Mana Tile. That's probably the best line. Now you sure? Well, that's handy. I mean, the Duelyst dies, whatever. We can either play Keeper and roll on the 50-50, or we can natural selection and look for something else. Oh wow. Ha! I mean, yeah. Sure. Like, none of this is particularly relevant, really. Nope, no 2 damage for you. Alright. Okay, so over there I can get some decent Iridium Scale value. Actually, I can use this to take this Mana Tile and play Macanta Warbeast. That seems really good. That means I can kill one of these obelisks, be left with a 4-4 that my opponent has to care about, and then we've got a 50-50 Sorry, no we haven't. We've got a 1 in 3 on Keeper of the Veil, which isn't bad. And then we can natural selection this next turn if we want. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we've got either Keeper or Grove Lion next turn. Seems good. So I need to be... Can I play the Mercantor on the mana type? No, of course I can't. That's not how mana works. Alright, so you've got to go up there, which is a bit annoying. Vaath needs to be next to the obelisk. I will take the liberty of taking the center tile. Bam. Still tempted to just keep this whole hand. I mean, maybe the scale... No, I should replace the scale. I need to dig for answers to Aymara Healer, who is coming up soonish. Okay. So the Mercantor dies, but that's fine. It traded with an obelisk. And 8 damage, unless they have a Falcius, in which case it traded with Falcius's ability, which is like, whatever. Sure. That's fine. It is a bit annoying that the tombstone had to be all the way over there. That seems like a really bad Whisper of the Sands. I guess my opponents decided they're not going to win the value war. They must have quite a weak hand. Or they just wanted to draw a card, which also suggests a weak hand, I guess. Right, so we can keep her and hope for the 1 in 3. If we keep her there, we hit the Mercantor, we can kill this, and my opponent will be sad. If we whiff, that's reasonably bad. We bring the Dual Test token down. We can still hit this for 3. The opponent has some amount of ability to counterattack. If I just natural selection this and either Bloodborne spell or play Blistering Scorn and kill the Primus Fist, that gives me quite a lot of board. Actually, I really like the Scorn option. Let's replace this guy. So the Keeper is mostly just going to be a tempo play. We're not going to get anything definitive off it. We're just going to play it and see what it does later. Yeah, let's go for this play. Kill this. Lock my opponent down a little bit. So we are... I guess we could just overload and play this instead of the Scorn. Means we can get more value off the Scorn later. We don't miss overload activation, which seems important. Yeah, let's go for that. We do have to play this guy, which is like sort of disappointing, but it's not a huge deal. We don't have an Aymara answer though, which is a problem. Maybe I should have put this somewhere else actually, because if he puts Aymara here, I can't attack. I can't kill it. Although I guess I can sort of fog it for a turn with the Tombstone. But maybe I should have played this guy somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. So we're able to body block with the Tombstone. To provoke with the Tombstone, drop Grove Lion, attack this for 3, which is fine. This guy doesn't seem very useful right now. We can claws and take 10. I don't really like that. We can keep her and hit nothing good. Yeah, I think the Lion's the best play. We can overload as well, so this thing will become 5-1. And then we get to kill it next turn. So I'm going to move the Tombstone up here, so I can put the Grove Lion nice and far away. And I'm going to put the Silithar... Do I want to... How much do I want to body block my opponent? If I put it here, he can dispel this, which is like relatively bad. How did you beat the Boreal Juggernaut? I did it with a Swarmhorn deck. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm about to go and do it after this. Normally when I play against the bosses, I play with the... I've got a Control Cassava deck. I usually play with that first. I'm just going to hit it for 2 because screw it. I usually play with that first because it allows me to... It takes a while to win, so I get to see a fair amount of what the boss does. So there's kind of a small chance we die here, but he's got to ping off the shield, and then get 7 extra damage out of nowhere, so I guess probably not. And next time we have Earthsphere. So we're probably going to be able to beat this Aymara nonsense. Alright, cool. Are you going to explode the demonic lure wall in front of his face so he can't move? If you're referring to the boss, I don't know anything about its mechanics yet, and I'm keen to avoid spoilers. But that sounds hilarious, whatever it is. I found a hilarious cheese strategy for the last boss with Venom Toth. That was funny. Alright, so this is awkward actually. So I can claws and kill this one. Trade for this one. I take 10. But the Aymaras are dead. It's not fantastic. This guy's definitely not doing much this turn. Although I do have the option of Defender plus Earthsphere. I can kill this. Heal myself. Probably going to lose the Grove Lion, so maybe we're meant to just trade. No, I doubt it. No, I'd rather Earthsphere Claws if I'm doing that. Selection is bad. Yeah, Earthsphere Claws is fine, right? So we can Claws up, kill this. We lose most of the charges on the Claws in this process, but we also get rid of his Aymaras. It sure takes some skill to narrate your thought process like that, let alone even have the will to do so with so little viewers. Oh, thank you. That's alright. This is I enjoy doing this. I took up streaming basically to make long-form recordings. I wanted to do some longer videos, and I thought I might as well stream them live. And I quite enjoy talking my thoughts out, and obviously I've practiced that if I know. So like, even if there's only 1 or 2 people watching a given stream live, it's still worth it because they go on YouTube forever, so it's fine. And yes, this is Keeper Vaath. This is my... currently I'm playing my exact Game 1 list from Tuesday. What have we got? Shroud. No! Wrecked. That was a good Grove Lion, though. Let me kill 2 Aymara healers with my face. However, my opponent was doing pretty badly and is now doing rather well. Although he's not killed the Silithar, which is nice. Oh god, this Mercantor. This Mercantor. The question is, do I hit him for 4? He's got, what, 3 cards in hand? It's probably not worth the risk, is it? But I will attack with the Grove Lion. Vet players can be quite aggressive, I've found. I'm going to replace this because it's not so good with the Silithar, and I'd rather... Ooh, hello. Does that change anything? No. This is a Mercantor turn. Through and through. Bam. The boss plays Grove Lion. I approve. I'm all about it. Although, again, I'd like to avoid spoilers if possible, because I love having the sort of the first pass experience. One of the devs from Counterplay mentioned that they quite like watching them, which is all the more experience. I think it's quite nice to have like someone's very first attempt at the boss on video with like no previous information. That is fine. We're just going to try and RNG that down. We haven't drawn any transform removal all game. Or maybe I drew an Egg Wolf on like turn 1 and replaced it. So if I keep one of my chances, I can trade this in and try and hit another one, I guess. This is an easy replace, it's not doing much. Finally, okay. That doesn't give us lethal, but it lets this die. The other option is I just play Meltdown and let the chips fall where they may, but I think I prefer the Thumping Wave, and I can like keep her over here. Because if I get a Mercantor, is there a way I can sneak it around? I can maybe like move this guy up, play Keeper there, and then the Mercantor can sneak round if I hit it. And if not, still fine. How many Meltdowns do you run? This is just 1. This guy's a one-off. My list is online if you want to take a look at it. If you go to... Piss off. If you go to 9moons.gg, there's my deck guide article and there's an... do I just let this die on me? One sec. I'll just let it kill the Silithar, that seems reasonable. There's a deck guide that I wrote, and also let's do this. And also the actual tournament report from Fated, one of the people who ran it. 9 Moons is the new Manigal. Yes, basically. It's 9moons.gg. There's more, kind of a more balanced set of content on there. I'll just post a link to my thoughts. I'll post a link to my deck guide in the chat and you can just read it. There's a deck list in there. But yeah, the Meltdown is a one-off. and its purpose is basically replacing the Silithar Elder that was there before, which is sort of a long game option card. So the interesting thing with this deck is it has like the worst looking curve in the world, right? It's got loads of 4-drops and very little on either side. That's on purpose. You've got 6 drops, 4 drops, and then like Flash Reincarnation, and that actually comes together quite nicely. The way that the game curves out, you can try and flash a 4-drop on turn 2 going second, or with a Mana Tile. You can try and you play a 4-drop on curve, obviously, and then you play another 4-drop and Bloodborne spell, or play a 6-drop. And it's sort of the specific cards you play are very powerful and kind of contribute to that overall plan. What happened to Mana Glow? I think it just died over time, actually. There was some competition from Turn 1 Mystic, but I think mostly it just some of the people writing it left the game or were too busy. Whereas 9 Moons is just kind of another attempt at doing the same thing, basically. Oh, this is interesting. So the Meltdown's kind of bad, but it's probably still worth playing. Just drop it and then make some trades. I can trade with this or this pretty easily. If I trade with the 3-4, move this guy down, trade with this, that means Meltdown has a 50-50 of hitting the Obelisk, or I could just cast Natural Selection. Seems like a more sensible idea, and activate Meltdown next turn. Like, I'll still play it, just activate it later, because you can't really do anything about it. So we do this. Do you have to be an established competitive player to write articles for Mana Glow? If you mean 9 Moons, no. Mana Glow, I'm not sure. How do I make these trades? I feel like I should probably kill my opponent's stuff. Makes Meltdown better. Did everything go through? Okay, good. Bit worried about the rope there. No, if there's a person who runs it. Yeah, basically. Pro of that. Yeah, this Siphon Energy would be a way to deal with someone putting a Meltdown in the corner, but basically the Vitruvian player's only way to deal with this is Circle of Desiccation, which is actually a very underrated card. Sometimes you just got to reset the board, and it deals with all the things that Vet really struggles with, especially things like Abyssian Swarm, where they have like the Blood Moon Priestess and the Kaleno, and you're like, I can't stop any of this nonsense. Just cast Circle of Desiccation, it all goes away. Bonus points if you manage to do it with some obelisks in play, but even if you don't have any, it's still good. I'm just putting effort into killing Silithars, that's fine. Hello, hello, hello. So the question of whether I replace this is actually pretty interesting. I think I'm only really looking for like Mercantors as an alternative, so I think I should probably just cast it, because he's going to have a bunch of stuff on the board regardless. It's a lot of mana to give your opponent back initiative. Well, the Meltdown, it's alright. Oh, the Circle of Desiccation. Yeah, sort of. You can kind of bait them into it. Like, you let them build up a board, and then you cast the circle, and hopefully swing back next turn. Like, you can use it to get closer to them. Like, if you push up near them, your opponent's going to redevelop near you. So you suffer a bit less on the way back. Whereas it kind of undoes all their hard work spreading out across the board in the previous turns. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, kill the Falcius, I guess. Does it even matter? Do I just not kill anything? I think it doesn't matter. I guess at least moving closer is good, right? I should probably move the Meltdown away. Yeah. He's not going to get in range to do anything before the game is over. I'm just going to put the Silithar in the corner and pass the turn like a troll. Yes! Okay. This is actually quite a good draw. I would have liked to have had that last turn. Although I guess I then probably would have died. I'm not on that much health. Opponent is out of cards now. The Iron Shroud spell is very good against Meltdown, but that's still fine. Incoming Circle. I mean, If he circles here, that's fine. Right. Noshrak kills you. Yes. You're correct. There's not much I could do to play around that, though, right? I don't think there's any cards in my deck that would have saved me from a Noshrak in that position. Ha! Rewarded for moving Meltdown into the corner. We could still just die, like, if we don't find lethal. I mean, we can kill a lot of stuff with Iridium Scale here, but... Ooh, wait, no, we can clear... Yes, the Iridium Scale is lethal, because we can kill everything. He's played into it.